All good. All right, so I'm sure you guys remember where we'd left off since we were just discussing that too. It is wine day, 10:30 a.m. You guys are in an old pump room in the Soakways, apparently used by the Fifth Column for traversing between the city and the Imperial Palace, or at least somewhere on the palace grounds. Garrett wasn't sure where necessarily, just that they had gone this way to get there. The party has fallen into a trap of sorts, although Pogo and Sarah have solved the mural key to reopen the exit portal to escape the room. The room is rapidly filling with water, and everyone is being electrocuted. While these shadow creatures are sent, the ones that were sent to pursue you by Garrup's spies, are harrying your efforts to try to get out.
I can't remember. Were they getting electrocuted too?
Nope.
God damn it. Ghost animals.
So they shouldn't be is the thing, because they're not physical creatures.
Sure.
I think I applied some for the initial, but I don't. They shouldn't be is the thing. They're made entirely of magic. Essentially, they're intangible. Hence the only magical things being able to hurt them. Although all of you have magical attacks, so it's really not an issue. It'd be like it would a ghost get shocked by the electricity, and they wouldn't. So anyways, in that case, I think I did apply it for the last round there, because we had discussed that, and let me similar to last time, actually, because I think it was the last update, because it was a month ago. I am running on 0 sleep, so bear with me if I'm a little slow today, or very little sleep. I probably had maybe an hour and a half or something total between an AT&T update to run last night at 3 a.m., so bear with me. That is all I had for these. We can go ahead and jump over to where we left off. I'll give that a second to, for the make sure I hit the right button to get everybody moved over. And we still have combat tracker, good, as far as initiative order. All right, so you guys are welcome to resume planning if you'd like here, or we can just go and start. It's up to you, but just keep in mind that the situation here is already pretty dire, of course. Everybody, actually Sarah, sorry, I was thinking it was Norok was higher health. Norok is actually pretty low too, so everybody is 25% or less, except for Sarah, who's about like 45%. Everybody is in very rough shape. Arteme, Nazim, and Pogo would probably survive, would be down or be close to 0 at least by a single round of electricity, which will happen at the end of this round, or technically the beginning of the next round. So we're starting with Pogo at the top of the initiative order in the entire combat tracker here. So you guys have essentially 1 round to get out, or heal enough to make it not be a problem, or mitigate the electricity somehow with that electrical box on the wall that you guys were looking at earlier. Whatever means you have at your disposal to actually get out of here in time. One last thing before I just shut up and let you guys plan here. It was pointed out more than once that the water is also traveling through the portals. Everybody understands that, right? The water is the portals themselves just let physical matter through. And it'll just plain mass. Water is traveling through it. If you were to step to the other side and your feet are still in the water, you can expect you will likely still be electrocuted. Everybody got that? Understands why that would happen?
Yes. Okay, so taking a potion, does that, consuming it yourself, is that an action or a free action?
It's a bonus action. Well, it's a bonus action, so this is one of the, more popular homebrew rules, that if you're drinking it yourself, we always have done it this way, but if you're drinking it yourself, it's a bonus action. Or if you want to use it an action, you can, either way, basically, but it's otherwise a bonus action. But if you're trying to give it to someone else, that's an action. Like if you're trying to force feed it to somebody who's unconscious, for example.
Okay.
So, let me know if this conflicts with any of your guys' ideas. I have the ability to get Pogo using just my movement and my bonus action all the way to the bottom right hand. Let's see how to make it the little thing. All right, well, I can't. All the way to the bottom right hand corner of this upper room, and then I can polymorph into a great ape a giant ape with the intention of breaking through this southern wall and then going after that electrical box and just trying to beat it as much as I can.
You're talking about over here-ish, where I'm drawing these, right through that?
In that area.
Okay.
Because Pogo, I kind of like this because this also is a little bit more Pogo. Because he doesn't necessarily know where everyone is, but he does know where the electrical box is. This might cause this wall to drop debris, so some of you guys on the other side of this wall might be hit with debris, maybe, after a dex check or save or something. But it would put me over here with a lot of hit points as my polymorph form. It might let me disable the electricity, and it will also give me 2 big hands that I can grab people with out of the water. And I'll be I guess I would DM, would I minimize the electrical shock that they would get, or would it go straight through me all the way to them 100%?
No, it will be. Yeah, there's a dampener there. I mentioned that for Norok carrying Sarah, that she would still get a lesser shock. But yeah.
So would that hurt anyone else's plans or throw anyone else off?
No, because I've got Misty Step, so if I should have just enough movement to be able to get line of sight. I can still hit someone with haste, whoever wants it, and then Misty Step back onto Norok's shoulder.
Cool.
For my turn, so
at that point, it'll be hopefully on my. So here's the thing: I'm not going to be able this next turn though. I'm not going to get to the thing on this turn. So there's going to be one more round of electrical shock. Does everyone have a way to hopefully mitigate this somehow? Climbing on top of the walls, or like spider climbing, or anything like that?
I do not.
I think we're all pretty stationary.
All right. I'm actually kind of sad. I've got spider foot south, but that's not going to help anything else, motherfuckers.
You guys have the right tool, just not the time enough to use it. You've had that for a long time too.
I've had it for a minute. Okay, so this makes the most sense to me in game, and I think it makes it's like the only thing I can do to help anyone else besides just getting the fuck out. So I feel like it'll divert the attacks of some of these guys probably to this giant ape. Might give you guys some extra time to heal or find some other way around the thing. Or maybe when I'm on this other side of the wall, one of you guys can take out the electrical thing, and then I can, help just get from this side out through the portal. What do we think?
Artemis and Nazim, that affects you guys the most, where
Yeah.
you guys are at.
Yeah, well, if I could get haste, that would be great, because then I'd be able to disengage, heal myself, transform, and try and get out, because I'm between 2 of them. But if Norok would need it too, then it'd be a debate on who needs it more.
I don't need it. Would
Nazim, I mixed up the pictures, sorry.
Can
Yeah,
Nazim still do that dimension door or whatever you were talking about? And you and Artemis through?
Well, I'll yoink yoink
He's getting
the
Garrett
Gibsons
through.
and then I'm gonna take Garrett, chuck him through with me. But if I don't do that, I'm pretty much 100% dead. I can't afford another hit. But at the same time, I'm just gonna get shocked on the other side anyway, so I may die anyway.
Can you not? How high can you hover?
2 feet off the ground, but I think the water level might be higher than that.
Yeah, the water level's at 4 feet right now.
I have an
Yep, is it
idea
gonna
to
be-
help mitigate the damage on the other side, but I'll share that as my turn happens.
Let's see here.
You don't have any way, Sarah, I don't know if that was, it sounded like that's what you were going to ask. You don't have any way of knowing what the other side of the portal looks like, as far as if
Yeah.
it's a small room or a big room, and therefore what the elevation of the water will be. You don't have any way to know. Yeah.
Is the water above the top of the big spinning wheels?
No, it's about probably a third of the way up the wheel.
So
Those are pretty
you
big.
guys might just have to climb up on top of those wheels. Whoever's got decent dexterity to get out of the water, and then do your turn, like whatever you need to do. Like that could be maybe the end of your turn. Like you move, get on top of the wheel, like do your attacks or whatever you want to do.
I was thinking about that last week too, using the wheels as kind of like monkey bars and just jumping between them.
Well,
But that's
none
going
of
to leave you sitting targets for the little shadow things.
Yeah, you only get electrified at the end of the whole round, so that's just electricity is one of those really hard things to do in D&D because of its actual way it works is to be every time you touch it, but that doesn't, we just all die immediately.
Yeah, it's not a perpetual thing in the way that it would be in reality. Otherwise, you guys would be fucked already.
It's actually,
Yeah, we
it's
did.
actually a real. I was like, it could be a really good dick move if a DM just wanted to end a campaign. Like, oh no, every time you guys touch the water in this giant room, you're gonna get
I mean
electrocuted.
that's a comment. That's called there's a meme for that, like rocks fall and everybody dies or something like that.
Acid, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this. So the reason I like this idea for my character is the creature itself has a high enough intelligence to where he can continue to follow like a plan point if it's in my head.
7 is
like
low grade human intelligence, so you're fine. Yeah.
We've probably met a few sevens in like town.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've worked with a few 7s in the past.
It would make sense to where he would know he just got electrocuted. He'd know that the rest of the team hasn't taken care of this as an issue. He wouldn't necessarily know what the state of everyone else is, and I feel like it's still a really good. It's Pogo's best option unless you guys can wait like 2.5, 3 more rounds for me to get over there. So what do you say? Should I at least do this, then we figure out where we're at afterwards, or do you want to keep talking?
I think it's worth a shot.
All right.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, Arteme, this potentially is a a way for you to get out because you're at the most risk. I'll move you over, Justin.
Thank you.
Nazim being able to dimension door is potentially good for at least him to get over there because somebody can help him up if he does go unconscious on the other side. But Arteme is at the most risk where she's at because she's furthest away and also at low health. So
Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna get the haste to be able to disengage, turn into
no haste.
shape.
Sarah, there's no way Sarah
haste?
can make it to you.
Nope, I got it
Okay.
figured out. All I
You
need is
do?
line of sight. So
Oh,
if I can,
okay.
my
I
15
missed
feet
that,
of
that's right.
movement should get me just around this corner here.
Okay.
I can, as long as I can see her, I can haste her, because I can double the distance for my spell, and then I can Misty step back onto Norok's shoulder.
Okay.
And
Right, yeah, I
Pogo
missed
is
that, sorry.
going to put his arm back like it's going to be a giant punch, and he's going to cast Polymorph on himself,
Okay.
and he's going to eat a caterpillar cocoon, say the words, and start throwing a punch at this wall as he starts transforming into this giant ape creature.
All right.
See what happens.
Polymorph. There we go. All right. You are now giant ape. Let me put you back. All right. So then Arteme right behind you. This was something that Pogo was shouting, and you guys were able to have some amount of communication. So you were able to expect that this explosion was about to happen. But the wall erupts, bursting forth with all of the brickwork and cheaply made mortar that was designed right in that wall to the north of you as this giant ape bursts through. I'm going to put you about halfway through it, Justin, because it's where you would be kind of in the middle of it. The flow of water, Arteme, is for certain going to push you away, along with the shrapnel essentially of brickwork. Give me a. I'm going to say this will cost your reaction if you want to use it to try to grab onto like the wheel, for example, to keep from getting pushed away. Since you did expect that this was occurring, it's just a matter of the amount of force. So it's not going to be a super high DC for you to do. 'Cause like I said, with Pogo shouting, you knew this was coming, so you can grab onto the wheel.
I'm gonna reach as soon as he shouts. I'm gonna reach for the wheel because I don't have like any good reaction otherwise.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So then, as your reaction, go ahead and make a Dex save. I'll say with advantage because you were expecting it enough to kind of try to brace yourself, along the wheel.
Okay, just waiting for
Okay.
you guys to go.
Yep, that'll do. All right, so you grabbing onto the wheel, then I'll say that you're even, moved over to it. You're still, in the water, up to, well above your waist at this point, but you are kind of grappled into grabbing on rather onto the wheel to keep it from, from forcing you away. The shadow was not pushed away by that. I just moved it out of the way, Justin, because I don't want it to be underneath you. It's actually, if anything, kind of half inside of you at the moment. So that was, pardon me. So that was movement and action. Any bonus actions for Pogo?
No, that was my bonus action too, just to get there because.
Oh, you were using the bracers. Gotcha.
Much distance. That was
Cool.
I used my bracers, yeah.
All right, and then that brings us to Sarah.
Okay, we're gonna move right down. Can I can't see from up here, can I?
See what? I mean, you can peek around the corner. You know, if you're just trying to peek and then step back, that's fine.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna move myself out one just because I can't see on the map.
Sure.
But I'm staying up here so I don't get a attack from this guy.
Okay.
And I will cast. Where's my haste? Oh, I did pass it. There it is. Alright, I will cast haste on Arteme.
Okay.
And I'm using a sorcery point to double the distance.
Wait, why do you not see... Justin, where did you... Oh,
I don't know where
Did
I'm
you-
at on the map.
okay. You were there, but something happened and reverted you to your regular pogo.
Well, it still shows Pogo never disappeared, and it still shows me as the giant ape on the combat tracker. So something's glitchy.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, you can just leave me as Pogo and all this
Yeah,
time.
I'm going to. Yeah, you're like 2.5 by 2.5 squares essentially. So just keep that in mind as far as the space. Sorry, go ahead, Becky.
And then I'm just gonna bonus action Misty step back onto Norok's shoulder.
Okay. All right. So
I'm out of the water.
then you, as you come around the corner there, you see a giant ape bursting through the wall there. Oh yeah, the Misty Step. Okay, I was thinking, oh, is she outside of the range of haste? But actually, hang on, we've got a problem.
No, I said I was using a sorcery point to double the distance.
Okay, all right, okay, because she was literally like 5 feet too far. So
Yep, I was aware.
all right. So if you mark that off, if you didn't already. So Arteme, then you are now hasted. Your turn hasn't come up yet, of course, but when it does, that was movement, action, bonus action. Anything else for Sarah?
Nope, that's everything.
All right. This shadow that is beside you, you
And I am
didn't actually.
on Norok's shoulder.
Okay. You didn't actually leave its radius. You were just kind of peeking around the corner there, so we won't have an opportunity attack, but it is his turn.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get him to face the right direction. There we go. He is going to take a bite at Norok, and then it'll be 2 claw slash attacks.
Nope,
Natural.
he can re-roll that.
All right.
No.
All right.
And I'll use my retaliation. Obviously, he hits me. Well, maybe not. Okay, he still hit me,
So,
but at least it wasn't
well,
a crit.
they got a natural
just not a
20, and
natural
then
20.
and then a natural 19. Yeah. Go ahead and do your retaliation, and then there's going to be 2 claw attacks as well.
I was gonna say, I was thinking that I might get a crit by this guy, he might knock me out, so it's a good thing that, got to reroll that.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, that would have been pretty bad. That'll be 12 damage from the after you're still raging, right? So
Yeah.
12 damage from your rage.
I'm a little slow. Come on.
20 will hit.
Yeah.
All right, 14.
That was 12 damage. Well, I can
Yeah.
just click bonus damage and do the half thing, right?
Yeah, sorry, the amount you took. Sorry, yeah, it was 14 that he took, but yeah, 12 for you. All right, and now 2 claw attacks that are both going at Sarah. Sarah, you do realize, of course, for your boots.
My boots.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. These will prompt concentration checks, of course. 14. I don't think that'll hit.
Does
will it?
not hit. Nope.
All right, second one. 19.
Shield. Oh,
You
oh
spent,
yeah, no, I
no,
still have
hang
my
on.
reaction.
You already reacted.
Yeah, Arteme used her reaction. Did you? I don't think
Oh,
you did.
no. Yep, I did. I made him re-roll the nat 20.
Oh,
So,
shit. All
reaction,
right.
right?
Yep. All right.
Thank
So the
you.
19 will hit.
Sorry.
That's alright.
12, so it'll be make a con save and beat a 10, or haste falls.
Oh god, that would be so bad. Oh god.
I'm not trying to be a dick here. This is just basic rules. So, all right.
Oh.
All right, haste stays. All right, and make a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Oh, Jesus.
Held
no.
my breath there.
Yeah, I bet. All right, so both succeeded. Well, you're not feared, and you kept concentration. It is 12 damage still from that. That is it for his turn. Orok, that brings us to your turn.
Alright.
So you heard the explosion. Oh, okay. You can ignore that one that just popped up, Becky. You already rolled it. So
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to see if I can finish off the Shadow Horse, so hopefully he's not there to hit anybody else when they try to run by.
Okay. He does not look significantly damaged just yet, so it's going to take a good chunk. I've seen you do this much damage before, but it's not great odds.
Alright.
Click on him and hit T, please.
Okay.
And then when you do your rolls. T for time to leave.
Lowercase d?
Alright, go ahead and roll him.
Alright. And I'm going to...
Garrett is up next, so... Oh, never mind. I was thinking he was on death saves already, but he has 3 hit points left.
By the way, if anyone needs to try to crawl on top of the ape, I just also realized if the wheels are made of metal, they are going to conduct electricity. So, and judging by Jeremy's laugh, he also knew this.
Oh, come on.
So,
You guys don't let me have any fun.
so, if you need to climb with a giant ape, it might help a little bit, but I'm pretty far away.
Well,
Gonna use the
what I
first.
figured you guys would probably do here is that Arteme is on it right now, but she's not going to stay there. You're within range, so I guessed that on Arteme's turn, she's either going to try to, turn into a shark and swim, or jump onto the ape's back. That's what I figured would happen, but I figured she probably wouldn't stay there on the wheel, but we'll see. Nazim, I'm not sure if he's still planning on dimension dooring or not. So, 15
Oh,
hits.
don't
you.
I have leather elven boots? So they wouldn't the rubber would kind of or
No,
leather?
you're like
no,
3
leather would
feet in
still.
water.
Yeah, but they're soaked in the water, though. Yeah, you have water
True,
in the
true.
gloves. Yeah, so, and it's not not just gloves and boots, but even then,
You're
you're
you're swimming in a public pool, but you're wearing good boots.
yeah, you've got rubber boots and rubber gloves on, but you're inside the pool basically. So, oh, sorry, that was 22 as a damage. Yeah, all right, good hit.
Right. Try again.
Do you guys see those little numbers pop off them when I'm applying damages and stuff? Hell yeah, nice.
I
Sweet.
did not notice, but
It's kind of cool. I mean, it looks video
I just,
gamey, but
can't see that area of the map. With my
yeah,
eye.
it is around the corner from you. Yeah. Roll a crit damage, G. Cool. Did that have brutal critical? Yeah, it did. There's 5 dice.
Okay, good.
Really, a crit? You only got a 22 when you got a 22 on. Oh, I guess that
I know.
was your.
Oh, that was the great. Yeah, that wasn't the Great Weapon Master one. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
The heart does light up, of course. This, up to you. This may be a good opportunity to use it for something other than another attack. But
I was just gonna ask, does he look like he's smashable, or he looks pretty big
He's-
still? He didn't shrink much.
yeah, I didn't change the size of him yet. Sorry, he's still good size. He's about 40% or so, maybe 35-ish.
Well, it's time for Norok to disengage and GT F and O. So,
All right. Free extra attack, second reaction, receive a second bonus action, double movement speed for this turn, or focus your next attack for a crit, like an increased crit. So there's no disengage on there. You've already spent your action.
can I do the double movement then?
Yeah.
Just scoot a little bit farther?
Yep. It is going to prompt an opportunity attack, though.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. So.
Okay. All right. Sarah's on your back. I assume you're going north, not south.
Yeah, we're going into the portal.
All right.
I was running.
All right. All right. Sarah, you're not jumping off. You're banging your head on the ceiling when he runs through.
Yeah,
All right.
I can't. That electricity would kill me.
Okay. All right. Opportunity attack real quick on your way out.
Oh, thank God.
Well, an 11, so that's not going to do. Ben, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to move you guys over to the other side of the wall here. That's not actually there. You're in a different place. But I'm just moving you over there so that you're still... here, just so that you guys can see what's happening, I'll go ahead and just move you guys back here onto the map. Just that Ben and Becky can see what's occurring, even though your characters are not actually there. Cool. All right, so that is it for Norok's turn. That brings us to Garup. He is gurgling and just flailing wildly and kind of reaching out and not able to really, see well. Latches onto Nazim's arm, and you see him kind of beginning to pull himself up. He is bleeding from the eyes and in terrible shape. He had his head underwater when he was electrocuted from being beaten pretty badly. He is still conscious, but only barely. Oh shit! Does he have?
Does he have the wherewithal to get the fuck out?
He is still, well, I mean, it's D&D, so even 1 hit point
Yeah.
is still, is still fully aware. I don't particularly like those rules, but it isn't fair to change them. Not mid-campaign, at least.
I love that Gareth has like these awesome eyes and
now they're bleeding.
everything else. I was just like, waiting for him to come up with some cool shit. It's like, he's got like a weird crossbow that he sucks at.
Oh, you mean as far as his? No, he's not. He was never like an important fighter or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's literally just a gleeman that happened to be in a bad situation, and they
later if he survives.
Well, I mean, he's a spy master. He's not intended to be.
Making fun of his ass later, Jeremy.
That's fine. You can, as long as you guys keep him alive. I mean, if you want to talk shit to his grave, that's fine too. I was rolling a percentile dice to see there whether he would feasibly have a healing potion on him, and I think he would, just especially going into this relatively dangerous situation. So he's going to get a 44 plus 4 as he chugs this down, still grasping onto Nazim and trying to keep his head above the water. It isn't a whole lot, but a little bit of a heal for him. And is trying to kind of spin around and move in the direction that Nazim is facing, assuming that there must be an exit in that way, because both, he and Nazim are next to each other there. That brings us to the blue one that was over here. He will throw a minefield? I don't even know what I'm looking at there. He is going to... The ape is obviously a new threat and is probably more concerned with that, but he wasn't. Yeah, the thing is, he wasn't sent. These guys were, as you guys know, obviously through Gareb spying, they weren't. He wasn't sent to kill an ape, and they don't have much intelligence. Wouldn't be able to decipher specifically that this ape is their intelligence is 2. So he's going to turn around and attack at Artemis instead.
Sorry, Artemis.
It made sense. Just with an intelligence of 2, this ape is not its goal, its target at all. So is going to try to attack Artemis here. He was supposed to have disadvantage. You still have daylight up. The ones that attacked Ben was supposed to have disadvantage as well. I forgot, Fox, so I'll re-roll this while this
Yeah,
guy's on
it's
one
been a
page.
while since I forgot about daylight, but yeah, daylight would still be up.
Yeah, so these guys have disadvantage on these attacks here. So that would miss, obviously, for his bite attack. Now he has his 2 claws with disadvantage. Natural 20 and 11, so an 18 still hits, right? Fox?
You got 18 on what?
His attack roll against you.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would unfortunately hit, because it's
Okay.
16 and 17 for mine.
All right. Then second
Wait,
attack.
he got an 11?
Well, he rolled an 11, plus modifier was 18.
Plus modifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second one was 15, so I don't think that hits then, right? So just one
15,
hit.
no.
Okay. All right, so 1 hit from his claws for 12 damage.
Ouch.
Oh, shit. That is really, really close. If he had hit with a second attack, that probably would have been it. But only 1 hit. Artemis is still barely clinging on, bleeding profusely into the water. Ironically, if she were to turn into a shark, would now be overwhelmed by the scent of blood in the water. You do have a concentration on Sunbeam. Did that... you were still using that. Yeah, so go ahead and roll that concentration save. You should see it in the chat there, Fox, so if you just click that where it says saving throw DC 10 con. All right, runner. It goes to the runner, so barely succeeds. Sunbeam is still up. That one is still extremely wounded, but that is it for his turn. Bringing us to your turn. So
Okay,
Pogo
so-
is the giant
You can
ape right
crawl-
next to you.
Yeah,
I mean you're within radius that if you want to. Yeah, I mean, well, even you wouldn't even necessarily need to climb if you could, with your foot up on the wheel here, could essentially jump onto his back to get yourself up out of the water. Obviously, Pogo would have just seen her take damage. She's in single digits, in very low hit points. So up to you. You could do that. You can try your shark thing. You are still hasted, so whatever you wanted to do. But
Even when I turn into a shark, because it's like a wild shape, I keep my mind, so I wouldn't get distracted by the blood. So yeah, I'm going to... Where is it?
you will still be electrocuted, though.
I'm gonna use the choker to to heal myself.
Okay. I think it is the...
Under other or...
let me look again. It's either versatile or other. I don't remember which one it is, so let me check real quick here. If I can find it. No, it's not
Dude,
that
that's an
one.
awesome
Yeah,
spell.
versatile is the damage roll. Okay.
That's an amazing. Oh, it's a 7th level. That's why. That's an amazing spell for a bonus action.
Oh, I was looking for the item, not the spell here. Duh.
Did it go? I don't see the dice.
No, I haven't seen any dice roll yet. 8d4 healing is versatile, and other formula is just an individual d4. So the versatile damage, or the versatile, is the button you want.
I'm waiting for the pop-up.
Or you can just click the D4 8 times.
I mean, you can just
I think
roll
I'll
a
just do
d4.
that because it's
Yeah,
not
just
going.
click the d4 until it says an 8 and then do it. That's fine. You're throwing it at yourself, I assume.
Yes.
All right, 20. Only rolled 1-1. Rolled decently. Only 1-1 and 1-4, and the rest was all 2s and 3s. So.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna do wild shape to.
Okay.
I'm gonna disengage and do a wild shape into a shark and.
Well, hang
try
on.
and-
Oh, okay. So disengage is because you're hasted. So disengage is one action. Wild shape is the second action. Okay.
And then I'm gonna GTFO out to the portal.
All right.
How many hit points does a shark have?
Let me grab that real quick. I thought I had imported already, but I hadn't. So let me do that. Reef shark
Weird.
was the one you were doing.
Yeah, we had looked last
Yeah.
time. I don't remember what we put it down.
I think it was like 30 or 40 hit points.
It's 22, so it's not high.
22. Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is still a small buffer, at least, on the hit points you have now. It was reef shark you wanted, though, right?
Yes, I believe that was the fast one.
Reef shark speed is... Oh, hang on, that's 40 feet swim speed.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that should be.
All right. Let me do your polymorph real quick here. I don't have a token in there for reef shark at the moment, but it'll just look ugly. There you go.
Put myself with Sarah and Nora.
You're swimming, so you do the wild shape as well, and then immediately try to swim past.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
disengaged.
Okay. Disengage is disadvantage on it or no opportunity attack? Let me double check here real quick.
I think it's no.
I thought it was none.
Yeah,
It
I
might
thought
be.
it was 9.
I think it's
That's how we
dodge.
were using it.
Yeah, I think dodge is the one where they just have disadvantage on all of them. Disengage is only for one, I think. That creature's movement provokes no opportunity attacks for the remainder of its turn. Never mind. So it is the entire thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you are in shark form. Then you have 40 feet. You would get all that. 40 feet would get you around the corner. You'd be able to get basically up. You know, not through the portal yet, but through over here, and well, actually, where the other shadow is. So about there.
Okay, the good news here, secondarily, if the thing was too dumb to attack this fucking ape here, they're also not going to try to attack the shark. So there's going to be looking
Yeah.
around confused. Take all their aggression out on Nazim.
Right now, it is basically just Nazim and then a giant ape who they're not
I feel like
after.
we didn't
so.
realize how dumb they were. We should have put on new clothes or something,
I
guys.
did tell you guys. I forget why. I think Ben did something last session,
Yeah.
and we, I told you guys that their intelligence was really low.
Yeah,
it
you
happens to be
expected
2.
Yeah,
Or
two of
their
them.
whole
Low.
plan with a cardboard box.
Okay, but last session was like how long ago?
Yeah, it was 3 weeks ago. So it's been plenty of time. I just meant that we had discussed that because I think Ben had done something there, but yeah, it had come up that they had very low intelligence. So all right, so that was action, bonus action, and a movement.
Blanket,
second
and throw it over their heads like a parrot.
It's night. It's time to go to sleep now. All right, that it for Artemis' turn then.
Yeah, I believe so, because that was 2 actions, bonus action, and I already used my reaction earlier, so yes.
Okay. All right, that brings us to Nazim.
Okay. So I'm assuming we have portal rules when it comes to this dimensional door. Is that correct? Inertia, momentum, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yep.
Beautiful.
The dimension door is instant, so.
Here we go. We will be casting Dimension Door right in front of me, and I will be grabbing McDudson right below because he's not looking in a good shape.
Okay.
I can carry him through the door with me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run as fast as I can into the door with momentum.
Okay. It doesn't
Hold on.
actually create a door. It's just
It's a portal,
It's just a
yeah.
teleportation. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will grab him, and with momentum, I will pop out right in front of the other portal that we're trying to get through, and the momentum should push me through into the other side, carrying his body.
Okay. So, I mean, it isn't momentum in that sense, but you still have your full... Well, I mean, it would be if you were, not trying to slug through water and everything, I guess. But anyways, it's not any extra movement, but you will still have your movement on the other side of it to then continue walking out through the portal. That's all fine. Functionally, it all works the same. So you're grabbing onto him and then teleporting to directly in front of where the portal was. You hadn't actually seen it, but you don't need to have seen it for Dimension Door to work. So you do teleport yourself over here to the other side, basically right in front of it, and then immediately just kind of continuing with the flow of the water, pushing out through it anyways. If anything, the water would push you through whether you really wanted it or not at some point because it's already above your waist. But you making it through the portal, appear on the other side. You don't know what that looks like just yet. I'm going to go ahead and put you, just like Ben and Becky, I'm going to move this guy. No, that's okay. Yeah, you can see just fine from there. So I'll just put you right there with Gareth. But you are actually on the other side of the portal, leaving just Arteme and Pogo still in the room. Pogo is a giant ape, who just burst through the wall with attempt to rescue. Could have saved himself much quicker.
So here's the thing, though. If one of them had been knocked unconscious, because those are some pretty bad attack rolls, this was a good backup.
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm with my choice here.
yeah, it was definitely. I mean, Arteme easily. Remember, I mean, Arteme with her own bad luck, anyways, probably would have gotten hit by at least 2. She only got hit by 1 out of 3 attacks, and if there had been a second, she almost certainly would have fallen unconscious.
Yep.
So, all right, that's it for Nazim's turn. Well, actually, hang on, that was just action, Sako. So you still have. Well, I guess you're on the other side, so there isn't much else to do. But if there's anything you want to do,
I casted, yeah. So technically, I would want to run as I get to the other side, but I don't know what's on the other side right now.
Okay, we'll get to that then. We'll say that you still have some movement if you choose to use it when we get to the other portion of it.
Okay.
And same for Sarah and Norok, just because I don't want to split over to that area yet. All right. That brings us to the end, which brings us to the environment at the end of the round here, which is 8d6. I had to double check here.
So, a question real quick, since everyone else on the other side of the door, we might want to see if any of them are getting out of the water, if they're still in water.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that Sarah is above, but basically she's going to take half damage because she's standing on Norok's shoulders. Nazim is definitely still entirely in. Gareth is trying to kind of clamber through it and keep his head above water because he's basically having to swim. Remember, he's only 3 feet tall, so he can't, at this point, he's basically being washed over. So Norok full damage, Nazim full damage, Gareth full damage, Sarah half damage. And then go ahead, G.
I was going to say, Nazim and I still have movement. Was there any way that we could have possibly used that movement during our turn to get up on something out of water?
I was going to see what we can do on the other side.
We'll get to this. Yeah, I'm fine with that. The only thing is what's on the other side is, let's just say that what you see on the other side, there isn't a lot of good options. Yeah, I'll explain why when we get there.
Okay.
But there aren't great options on the other side either. There isn't anything for you to climb up on, I guess is what I'm saying. The only thing you could climb would not help. But I'll explain why when we get there. All right, so that's 8d6, and that will be full damage to Pogo as the ape and Arteme as the reef shark. So full damage to everybody except for Sarah, I guess. So 32 damage. Arteme, your shark has 22, which means that you are, as soon as you've swum around the corner just beside one of these shadow creatures, you are... Sarah, it's going to be less for you. It'll only be an 8. So yeah, it'll be DC. That's fine. It's still DC 10. Yeah, to keep that. And Pogo, I don't think yours is concentration based, is it?
Nope.
Yeah, because yours is the.
Well, it is, but it's a concentration on my. We determined this was on my person, not on the giant ape.
Yeah, well, that's definitely the case, but it's not a spell.
Yeah, that's
Sculptor
right.
Flesh work as a spell. It's an innate ability that you have. So, all right, Sarah's good on keeping haste up. Arteme, you do lose your reef shark form, though. You are immediately reverted, and you take, hang on, the total was 32. You have 10 more hit points of damage, so you're down to 16 hit points now. If you want to mark that off. It'll prompt for another save as well, or another concentration check. Let's switch you back to there. There you go. But you are around the corner, at least close enough to possibly get out and not dead, so that's good news.
Yay!
Fox, there's your concentration check. Yeah, Justin, I don't think you have a concentration check for that because it's not a spell, so I wouldn't count that as such.
Before
Now,
I change it, do you want to look at my HP before I change it?
yeah, let me. Oh, okay.
It's 0
So we have a couple things
My
here.
daylight is still up, but I just lose sunburst. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just sunburst or sunbeam that falls. But none of you all can see this except for, well, I'm sorry, Nazim and Sarah can see this. Sarah, there is a trembling underneath you, and you get flung forward as Norak falls his face first into the water. He is immediately going to be drowning. You need to be aware of that. And the water is, it's not 4 feet in this room yet, in this other room that you guys have been in, because it's slowly, I guess the amount of water flowing through the portal is less than the amount of water that was flowing through those pipes. Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a full 4 feet in this other room yet, is what I'm saying. It is probably at 1.5 feet, but it's enough to cover his head, and his head is now underwater, collapsed on the floor. So obviously, Sarah, you fall into it. You're not taking any additional electrocution damage because that already happened. But you and Nazim basically are now next to an unconscious Norak. This is the second or third, at least 2 that I can think of, but I can't think of any other times when Norak has fallen unconscious in this game.
Yeah, this is the first for me.
Yeah, he got hit by a giant, threw a giant rock at him and knocked him off of a wall.
that's
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. And he was kind of crushed under that for a little bit.
Didn't I fall to 0 HP when the what was his name? Masetsu, one of his raptors bit me, didn't I?
Oh, yes, you
Fall
did.
then?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Yep.
You guys got me out or whatever.
Bit you almost in half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were almost hemisected. All right. So that is, the water continues to rise by another foot, so it is at 5 feet in this room now, which if Pogo weren't a giant ape would be a real problem, trying to swim across the surface. It's only an 8-foot ceiling, but it's at 5 feet now in this room, and that is it for the environment changes here. So that brings us back to Pogo.
Is my giant ape form within 10 feet of that electrical thing on the wall?
Yeah, close enough. I mean, it's probably within 7.5 feet.
Range on my attack.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually just going to do my first fist attack on
fist
the
that wall?
electrical thing, and I'm just gonna go and just start wailing on it with my.
All right. It has multi-attack, I assume, right?
It does, but this is just my first one, so it's
Okay.
gonna be 20 to hit. I'm guessing that.
Yeah, that hits. It's a wall that it hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a wall
It's not moving a whole lot.
for
All right.
20 damage. Anything
Okay.
happen?
You smash into this kind of metal box on the wall, and the sparking immediately just envelops your hand and starts to catch the hair on the back of the giant fist on fire. There you go, man. Yeah, exactly that. It's the fucking Home Alone one. But it is smashed into the wall. It is still sparking. It might take 1 or 2 more good hits.
All right, I'm gonna attack it again.
Okay. That'll hit. Yeah. All right. You smashed it enough in that you see your fist is starting to sink into almost mud behind the wall. You've kind of smashed through the masonry and into the dirt. And thankfully, it is not enough of a conductor. Dirt is not a great conductor. The sparking seems to still be kind of there. You can still smell it, but you don't see it.
All right, and being an ape, I'm gonna assume that's good. I am going to use my
Here, I'll move you real
my
quick.
ability of where is it? Are you ability? Piece of shit. Somewhere on here. Oh, it's after.
It's the ability's fault.
I'm gonna use my. I'm going to, because of the width of this area, I have a 40-foot climb speed. Can I kind of climb through the walls out of the water to keep my speed up?
There isn't. You would need handholds basically, and these are essentially smooth walls. Especially with as heavy as you are, there wouldn't be anything to hold on to.
Okay. Then I am going to just start. I know we've got 2 of these guys around me. Can I try to kind of jump over them using my Ninja Warrior style, like putting my hands up on the sides and kind of like monkey jump over this guy on the top?
Okay, so by that description, it will be extremely awkward. But if what you're saying is kind of ping pong back and forth between the north wall and the south wall,
Imagine me
where this
putting
is,
my arms on both sides of the wall and just
yeah.
kind of like kicking my legs up over it, like as
Okay.
I'm running through this top area, like right here. So just kind of like jumping over him with my feet up in the air. I could, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that's you're still going to be kind of partially in the water, but I'll say that you'll be able to get your with. It's going to be a pretty high DC because you still have to try to move around this wheel as well without kicking the wheel and like losing your
Would it
momentum.
be
I guess.
better if I try to do it for the one south of me and went down the middle area? Like
That might be harder actually because those are open pipes. Yeah, I don't. I
Oh.
think the description is creative and I like what you're aiming for there. I don't think it won't be impossible. Just like a closer to a 60-40 in your favor
You know what?
to keep full moment or full momentum.
I'm just gonna try to run through
Okay,
it. I'll use my strength. As
they are intangible. You can run straight through them. They are both going to
Oh.
prompt opportunity
Oh,
attacks,
fuck.
but
Yeah, no,
they're not
no.
physical creatures. So
I'm just running straight through this dick.
yeah,
Then.
okay.
So I've got a. How's the water going to affect my speed? Halves or
Half,
is it,
yeah.
too big for it to matter? All right.
Hang on. Well, the thing is that the ceilings are only 8 feet, and it's already 5 feet up. So, like, it's you're basically there's not going to be any way to avoid that. I mean, if anything, being as tall as this giant ape is would probably be already having to hunker down. Yeah, but we'll stay half speed anyways.
All right. Then I have 40-foot movement, so I'll go 5, 10, 50. I'll get basically right on the other side of this guy, so he won't get a reaction attack. So I'll still be inside the AM, but it'll just be right on the other side of this guy.
Of the purple.
Yeah. So
Like-
right about there.
Oops, shit! I started. Sorry.
Too far.
There.
Yep, that's
Or one
about
more.
as far as I can get with my half speed.
Okay.
I don't have any bonus actions as this guy, so that is it.
Oh, the light is it's still around the corner. Hang on, the daylight fell off. He got a natural one anyway, so that's fine. The other would have been, I think it was an 8, so neither one would have hit for the opportunity attack from the one that's already.
Oh,
already
got it.
closed
Yeah.
But daylight fell, so they don't have disadvantage anymore. Arteme is AFK, but she said that's the one that was cast before Sunbeam. Yeah. So, anyways, that's off. All right. But it didn't hit anyways. So that was only movement. Oh no, sorry. That was your attack and then movement. No bonus actions.
He doesn't have it.
And I think we well, shit, because if you're not wearing the bracers are just part of you, so you can't use the. Yeah, I think that's right.
It's okay. It's okay. I got 125 hit points, and apparently these things don't think I'm a threat. So cool.
They seem. I mean, that one, as you were trying to rush past and it didn't have any other choice, it's going to choose to hit you, just because you're, still a live creature down here. If it doesn't have any other targets, but that's all.
I'll be honest. I'm in still better shape than some of the people on the other side of that floor.
You definitely are. Yeah, they were in a really bad spot. So the luck has been in your guys' favor so far, especially with better rolls than are average for some people. Obviously, I'm talking about Fox there. Sarah, it is your turn. You have been thrown down into the water. You're 5 feet away from Norok, who is collapsed face down in the water. I was assuming, beginning to drown on it. What are you doing?
Right, so Ken, is he like half floating in the water?
No, he's pretty heavy and is face down in it. Yeah, it's not enough water yet to really lift him up yet.
Alright, then.
It's only like a foot. It's not even enough to slow you down as far as your walking speed yet.
Yeah,
It will be.
Flip him over. I am not strong enough to flip over Norok. So
I'll tell you know what. Just because of the room may matter in this case, depending on what you choose to do. What you see is a row of jail cells on both sides. They're metal bars, ceiling, floor. On both sides, a long row of them. There's 3 on either side, and then there's some stairs at one end that go up, and then a window on the south side that is also barred. That there's sunlight coming in through. Basically, a hallway. You're in the middle of the hallway.
Right. Well, having seen Pogo turn into a giant ape at the end of the other corridor, I'm going to use 2 of my sorcery points to polymorph as a bonus action into the same.
Okay.
Wait, right before I do that, I am handing Nazim one of my potions. Just hold this for a second. And then I'm going to polymorph, flip Norok over, and then shove that potion down him.
Okay.
It's a nasty Iska one, but it's all I got.
All right, so he's going to be vomiting not from just the water, but also from the spoiled Stridos potion. All right.
Yep.
Then in that case,
get the water out of his lungs.
that's true. Yeah, I guess maybe the vomiting is good in this case. All right.
26.
So Sarah, as a giant ape, Norok, you awake to this other like different pattern giant. Well, you never saw Pogo's giant ape actually. So for all you know, this is Pogo probably.
Well, no,
I would
because
say-
it's all shadowy and stuff. Because I still have my shadow skin up.
I guess it would still be the shadow skin on it. Yeah. So. I mean, it probably smells like Sarah, but there's definitely some confusion there. As you are brought to consciousness yet again. I'm going to say
fuck.
that. What?
Oh shit! I can't. I will drop haste.
You got a choice here, then.
Oh.
You don't know
Like-
where Arteme is. You just know that you know you successfully got it on her, but you can't see back through the portal. You can Rocky Talkie. I mean, that's talking is a free action, so you can try.
I mean,
you know,
if she died, I would have felt the haste drop on her, right? Like that there wasn't anything it was tethered to.
if she had gone unconscious, and that has not happened. Yeah.
Right. In that case, I'm just going to try and flip him over with my strength, because if I drop haste, then she loses an entire round.
With Sarah's strength, without the ape, you mean? Because
I
polymorph
don't
is
have
the
a
problem.
choice.
Okay.
I know, but if I
Okay.
drop haste, then she is incapacitated for a round.
Okay. I'm going to tell you that your odds of success are not good with a tiny little 3-foot halfling trying to flip over a 7.5 foot, Norok who's like 400 pounds.
Can I use? Can I use my action to help Nazim, and can we both like try to push him over, and
Yeah.
then one of us shove the potion down his throat?
Yeah, that won't happen until Nazim's turn, which means Norok's going to make a death save.
Well, I mean, just don't roll a 1. just don't roll a 1. All right, that's what
That's
I
a
will do.
lot easier said than done.
For some people, yeah.
I mean, I can help him re-roll it one time.
Didn't you already? You
I
haven't
have
used
I have 2.
one left? Okay.
I have 1 left.
All right, cool. All right. Then, Sarah, you are preparing. This will take your reaction and your action to assist Nazim. Nazim, are you nodding in agreement or anything? You'll help her with that?
Yeah, we'll help the potion. Yep.
It's not the potion. Nazim
It's
is
the
Norok is
push it
face
over.
down in the water, and she needs help trying to flip him over so that he's not sucking in water and drowning. He's unconscious underwater right now.
Okay, and we're all on the other side of the portal.
No.
Oh, I thought I'm on the other side of the portal by now.
You are.
You are.
You, Sarah, and Norok are. Arteme and Pogo are still not on the other side yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back through the portal then.
On your turn, will you be willing to help Sarah try to flip Pogo over?
Nora.
Oh, yeah. No, Nora.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah, they're
not
all.
Pogo, sorry. Jeez, let me make it more confusing. Yes. All she's asking is for you to help on your turn. Spend your action to help flip Norok over.
So we can shove a potion down him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, you won't be able to do that either. Keep in mind, if you're both spending your action trying to flip him over, you're not going to be able to give him a potion. Garrett technically could, but his turn doesn't come before Nazim. He's also a halfling and is going to struggle just as much trying to flip Norok over. Nobody gets that, right? That's going to take actions to do that. I mean, it would take...
And we can't use. We don't have a
Yeah.
bonus action that'll allow us to do that either.
Yeah, bonus action would be drinking it yourself, not to give it to someone else. Funny that came up at the start of this
But-
session, but...
If we give it to Jareb, then he could hold on to the potion until Nazim's turn. We get him flipped over, and then Jareb could shove it down his throat.
All right,
Garrett
so
was-
Garrett can ready his action to try to give him the potion. Sure, that's fine. He wouldn't be much help with the flipping anyways, so...
Yeah, he's pretty much dead. He's just a walking corpse at this point. Mm-hmm. We'll do the heavy muscle lifting, and he'll just do the potion handing.
I mean, it's not a guarantee. Nazim isn't strong either, so it's still, not great odds, but better than Sarah trying by herself. So if that's the plan, then, Sarah, you technically still have a bonus action.
I am looking. I don't see anything I can do as a bonus action except for maybe get a spell slot back, but
Okay.
I think I'll wait.
All right. Then that will bring us to this shadow horde that is next to Arteme. Arteme is back in her regular physical form and currently. Oh shit. Arteme, you still have haste. You did, it hasn't been your turn yet this round, but you still have haste right now. But he is going to, seeing you there, you're the
daylight
only.
is still up.
No, daylight fell. Sunbeam.
Daylight is not concentration. Sunbeam fell.
What's the? Okay, shit. Okay, all right. So, I think I was thinking daylight, which means the other. Yeah, that's fine. It didn't actually do. Yeah, it didn't hit Pogo anyway. So, all right. So daylight is still up. That's right. All right. So he still has disadvantage, but it'll be all 3 attacks against you with disadvantage for the bite. 18.
Actually, that hits.
All right. Here's the damage from the bite. Sarah, remember how that whole discussion about you feeling if haste fell? Just fell. Arteme,
Oh boy.
from the bite, falls unconscious. The portal is still open, so you guys do with this what you will. Pogo's around the corner there. But I don't want to be a dick here. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just tried to warn you guys how serious this was, that this was very, risky. He still has 2 attacks. He's going to take them. They were sent to kill you guys, not to try to, bring you in or anything else. So he is going to attack Arteme, who is at 0 hit points. They won't be automatic crits or anything, but it will be... It's 2 claw attacks. 15. Does that? Hang on. I think a melee attack. I think a melee attack automatically hits if they're unconscious, doesn't it? Unconscious.
No.
I think melee attacks
think
automatically hit. Yeah. I mean, if they're within range, ranged attacks obviously would be, but if they're next to you, I'm pretty sure melee is an automatic hit. Let me look at unconscious rather. Unconscious. Can't move, speak, or unaware of surroundings. Drops whatever it's holding, falls prone, automatically fails dex and strength saves. Attack rolls against your creature have advantage. Okay. So it is still... Okay, so that'd make it a flat roll. It is not an automatic...
If it hits, it's a critical hit.
Well, okay, so this is what it says. I'm gonna put it in the chat here, or I'll put it in Discord so everybody can see it. This is going to become a very serious situation, as you guys were aware. She is at 0 death saves right now. Is going to swing twice. Yeah, there's 2 claw attacks left with her at 0 death saves. If one of them hits, she's at 2 failed death saves. If the second one hits, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understand
I
that?
like that you're saying as if we have a lot of choices to change this, but... Alright,
Well,
guys. We should probably start playing for real
all right.
now.
No, okay. You did though. You had this entire situation right from the beginning. Literally, the moment you guys teleported into this room, I told you about that electrical box on the wall. I told you about all of this. I told you about the whole section being ramshackle, which Pogo used to to break out through the wall. He used that. That was vital information. All of this was useful information. Not it's not anybody's individual fault. Nothing like that. I'm just saying that this specific situation is going to get, depending on these rolls here. I'll just re-roll that because hang on. That was an 8.
That one wouldn't hit.
That one would not. Yeah, even with the disadvantage, it would not have. So that'll be the first attack did not hit, and then we'll roll 1, meaning that she doesn't have a chance to die here, but she could potentially be at two failed death saves. Well, 2 if it hits, it's an automatic crit, which makes it 2 failed death saves. So we'll roll the 3rd attack. This will be a normal roll because it would have advantage for being, for you being unconscious and disadvantage from the daylight. Actually, hang on.
Daylight's
But it's
done.
not concentration.
You're unconscious. It doesn't matter. She's on. The daylight is around her.
Daylight is on an orb around my waist, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
Okay.
really.
No,
Okay.
that's true. That's true. It's not concentration, which means her being conscious doesn't matter. If it's just on an object, it lasts until the duration is done. Daylight would stay up, makes it still disadvantage from that, meaning this is a flat roll to see if she has 2 failed death saves. 13.
Does
What
not
is your
hit.
AC? AC
My
is
AC
16.
is 16 and 17.
All right, so it is it bit you. You fell unconscious and fell into the water, beginning to sink. It tries to swing at you with both claws, misses both times. You are at 0 death saves. Obviously, you'll be needing to make death save rolls on your turn and everything. Keep in mind though that you're the only, well, you and the ape basically, which they're not a priority target for, are the only targets in here. So the Outer Bay is going to need some help, I guess is what I should say. Norok, you are unconscious. Go ahead and make your first death save.
Surprised these fucking things are smart enough to know when someone's unconscious compared to dead.
Well, that's the thing is, it's not even really that. It's that they were told to kill you. They're going to keep attacking until that's why it still attacks her essentially. You know, it didn't stop to try to go after someone else to incapacitate someone else. It still attacked her after she was gone. Ben, you looking for that?
Yeah, where's the button for that at?
If you...
Oh, I see. Hit the
yeah.
checkmark?
Well, first, click where it says death saves. You click the word death saves, and I think it'll
Oh,
prompt you.
okay.
And then it should automatically add the...
Oh, hang on. I need to take those, because I put that potion back on, but she didn't actually do that. So, there, it
Yeah,
wouldn't let me
not
do it
yet.
because my HP wasn't at 0.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Alright, here we go. Normal, right?
Yeah.
Roll.
Yep. All right. There is the first failed death save for Norok. It is Garrup's turn. So the situation, so that everybody's on board here. Norok's head is underwater. You can't make him drink a potion when he's choking on water. So Garrup can't give him the potion yet, but he is kind of readied and trying to hold the potion in one hand and trying to shove his hand up under Norok's ear and trying to force his head up, but his head is too heavy.
The good news is you're in the water, so he's a lot lighter.
We're all on the other side of the portal, though, right? Because
Not everybody.
Me and Garrup.
Okay,
And me.
so I don't know what you missed here, Sako. I don't know if you just stepped away for a minute or something, but this right now from the list, Pogo is still in the main room, and Arteme is still in the main room. Arteme is now unconscious, underwater, and sinking, and Pogo is still in giant ape form in the main room. You, Sarah, and Norok, and Garrup are on the other side of the portal in a different room, which is basically like a jail, like a small jail cell, or jail block, I guess. And Norok is unconscious, facing the water. From the electricity is actually what knocked him out. So the electricity still shocked everybody on the other side of the wall there. But the water is rising in there. It's not quite as high. It's only about a foot of water now. And you guys don't know this, but the electricity has been mitigated on the other side. So the situation is still very tense in that everybody expects to be shocked potentially, because nobody's heard from Pogo yet because he's still an ape. But anyways, Garrup is trying to lift Norok's head, obviously unsuccessfully, and is holding the potion prepared to give it to him. That brings us to one of the shadows. It is going to rush up to attack at Pogo. I'm just going to roll them all real quick, Justin.
Go ahead.
She's still in there, so he still has
I'm going to
disadvantage.
tell you right now, my AC is 4, so
All right, well,
probably going to hit.
okay. I did not realize it was that low.
My wisdom's not bad, though.
You're fleeing anyway, so I
that
wouldn't worry about
wasn't
that. All right. Well, so you're afraid of the shadows now. All three of them hit then, so it'll be. Let me roll the damages real quick. Whoops, not attack. All right. So it is those last three: 24, 11, and 10.
Oh,
It's 3 attacks. Yeah, it's 1 bite and 2 claws.
You said 24, 11, and 10, so 35, 45.
Yep. And that's it for his turn, and that brings us to Arteme. Arteme, it is your first death save time. You're already at 0, so on your character sheet, on the main page, the attributes page, just below where you see wild shape, natural recovery, and everything on the right side of that column on the right, you see death saves. Click on the word death saves. Oh, you can ignore that concentration check too, Justin. And that's a failed for Arteme as well. Okay. So that is the situation in that room. Back in the jail side, Nazim, it is your turn. Sarah was trying to get you to help her, flip Norok over.
But she's unconscious too. So pretty much everybody's unconscious at this point.
No. Sarah's not
No, I'm
unconscious.
still good.
Arteme is unconscious.
Arteme, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, so Arteme is in the main room and unconscious, and Pogo is trying to, race out towards, in her direction, basically, to get through the portal. Sarah is conscious, though, and trying to flip him over and asking you for help. So here's how this is going to work. It's going to be a strength check. We're going to call it DC 15 to get him flipped over, but you're going to roll it with advantage because Sarah is assisting. Although, her help would be kind of nothing, but let's just say because of D&D terms, that's how help works, the aid action.
Hey,
so.
man, I got a +2 to my strength.
Well, all right, you're strong for half of it, but it is still, D&D rules. We have to make it, as fair as we can here. So, a natural 20.
Yeah.
All right, Nazim, with the adrenaline of the situation, realizing that your own survival likely depends, at least in some small part, in Norok being alive. The adrenaline pumps through, and you manage to just shove him over, slamming him, back, like his shoulder and his back into the wall on the side of the jail here, because it's a relatively narrow hallway. But he is smashed against the wall, head above the water, kind of almost slumped over, but still, head above the water, at least at this point, although it is filling more rapidly. Gareb does immediately kind of dive over and kind of tip his head forward first to try to pour out the water, and then yanks it out. He doesn't have hair. Shoves his head backwards, and then uncorks the potion, pours it down. Sarah, go ahead and re-roll that, because it was your potion anyways.
All right.
And mark off the potion you had. You guys have had that a long time too. In fact, you got that at the same time. You guys got the Spiderfoot cells.
28 this time.
All right, Norok, you choke to consciousness with a disgusting, fetid mixture of long, spoiled and almost moldy liquid, coughing it up, half of it back up into the water. Around you, still, coming to consciousness, but not in great condition, surely. As Gareb is trying to kind of force this bottle down your throat. You go ahead and apply the 28, and then you need to make a DC 14 con save.
Okay.
All right. Rolling some natural 20s where it matters, at least. Not, unfortunately, on the death saves, but at least on, getting yourselves back to shape, hopefully. All right, so you kind of spit out what's left of it and begin to right yourself. You'll still have your full turn when your turn comes up instead of spinning and vomiting. All right, Nazim, that was your action. You still have movement and bonus action.
Yes, I was going to do the movement last turn, but end of this turn, but I don't know what the room looks like.
Well, I described that. Yeah, so I described that twice actually now. But that hallway, you guys are in essentially a small jail cell block. There are 3 jail cells on the left with bars that are floor to ceiling. Remember a little while ago when I think Norok had asked, maybe you did, one of you asked what the other side of the room looked like, if there was anything to climb up on to get up out of the water, and I said there wasn't. It's because this is just basically a short hallway with 3 jail cells on either side, and the only thing is these metal bars, which if we were to climb up on, aren't really going to help all that much because the metal would conduct electricity. Yeah, exactly. So there aren't boxes or anything. So anyways, three cells on the left, 3 cells on the right. The far wall, the furthest wall away from you guys, there is a small window up at the top, right below the ceiling, that is barred, but you do see sunlight coming in from it. And then there's a set of stairs behind you that go up, and that's it.
Gotcha. All right. I guess I'll quickly run as far as I can up the stairs to kind of see. Obviously, it's going to get me out of the water because the stairs going up. Yep. But maybe I can kind of peek my head around just to make sure there's no one up there.
Okay. You running up the stairs, you see that it connects to another very dark, kind of narrow hallway. By the way, the jail cell area is there's sunlight coming in through that, but otherwise it's completely dark. And anyways, you run up to the top of the stairs, and it leads to another hallway, and you see similar stairwells that go down off to the left of you. There's another 3 of them, so 4 total. The one that you're on and 3 more, and then it goes. Then the end of the hallway just turns to the right. Basically, you can't see any further than that, and otherwise it's completely dark. You're just able to see a little bit in the darkness from the sunlight coming up.
Gotcha. I'll bark that back down the stairs if anyone can hear me, letting them know that I found a possible way out of here, and to book it.
Okay. All right. That will bring us back to the environment. The electricity is now in a localized radius. It's basically minimized enough to the point where there's no one that's near enough to it to be shocked by it. Pogo is closest, but he's too far for that to be a problem. so that is not a concern, but the water does continue to fill, meaning that now the water in this room is 6 feet. There's only 2 feet of air at the top of the water, or between the top of the water and the ceiling. Pogo, it's going to be your turn here in a moment. With the height of the water now, like you can just barely see around the corner there from your giant ape form. Arteme is sinking like rapidly. She's basically sinking down from the ceiling.
Well, my turn is going to be super easy. I'm going to use my movement to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20 to get right around the corner because it's half speed. And then 5, 10, grabbing Arteme on the way. 15, 20, it'll get me right to the portal.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I can do. That's literally that's all I got. So
All
that's
right.
get 3.
You're gonna get 6. Oh, sorry. You're gonna get 2 opportunity attacks. The green one is too far away.
So I guess
The green one's too far.
The
technically-
daylight is still up, so it's with disadvantage on him.
Oh shit! Sorry, Justin. I did see the blue one that was there next to you. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah,
So it'll be.
it's not going to make a big difference on this, but yeah, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
think.
3.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 bites. I don't think that they could chew through that amount, especially with disadvantage from Artemis Daylight. Yeah. Natural 1, so he can't. Next
Well, I
one.
mean, so here's the thing, my AC is a 4.
All right, so that's true. Natural 1 still misses. 18 will hit, and then so it might be 2. Then let's see if this last one.
What we got?
All right, so 2 bites.
So 21 and 18.
No, that was still attack roll. Damages are 19 and 18.
All right.
So 36, 37.
Minus 37.
Yep.
All right.
Still in okay shape.
Can I use a bonus act? Well, it would technically get me right here. I don't know how that would. Like, I'd be like half in the portal, half out. What do you?
It's technically
we can't see through these portals, right? Until we're on the other side.
correct. It's just black. It just looks like a void until you're through the other side.
Well, if it's still what I see and she's unconscious, you guys basically all have to do something because you're gonna see her. You're gonna see her just in my hand, and I'm not gonna be able to do much.
It's a King Kong situation. It's a giant ape carrying an unconscious blonde woman.
I'm just gonna use the rest of my thing, just looking at it. I'm like, you see it halfway through the portal. I'm just gonna kind of hold her up and go, like point to her.
All right.
Strung over.
All right. So Norak, having been shoved away from it, is just enough out of the way that when you step through, you don't step onto him and are kind of careful with your feet placed and to not crush either of the other halflings that are in the water.
Well, at this point, I'm half swimming, so.
It's at 1.5 feet now. The water on the other side is.
Okay.
You were swimming through, but the water on the other side is at 1.5 feet inside this jail area that you've just arrived in as well. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that you recognized before, and in fact, let me turn this music off because we are at a relative moment of calm, very brief, granted. Those shadows did not come through the portal, they came through the walls. They can't travel through the portal, but it doesn't mean that they're too far away to not catch up to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they chased you last time. It just took them a little while, which is why when you guys first got into this room, they didn't show up instantly. It was, a few rounds before they got to you. So all of you, I'm going to move this over. And now everybody actually is in this, jail cell row here. If it will load for everybody here. Come on. Oh, all right. Looks like everybody over. All right. Everybody see this ones?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to say it's still a tense situation, but I left the combat music off. We can briefly at least be out of initiative order. You do know the shadows will still be coming after you here. You can at least assume so. You don't necessarily know how far this is from the place you left, but they aren't stopped by physical barriers, I guess is how I'd put that. So
Daylight would be lighting this up like
That's true. So with the daylight on Artemis' orb, it is
like a flashlight.
just put your hand over the orb so you can like focus it like a hose in the direction you want. Anyways, I guess flashlight's probably a better analogy than hose in that case, since you or aiming the light. But anyways, you arrive in this otherwise would be very dimly lit, only for that one light at the end of the hallway there. And you see Pogo carry, well, Pogo as a giant ape, carrying an unconscious Arteme. So what are y'all doing?
I've got one Iskil potion left, so I will go shove it down her throat.
All right. Pogo lowers her down enough for you to be able to try to feed it to her. Arteme, you come to consciousness. This room is still rapidly filling with water. There is a portal still, dimly illuminating behind you as well, and pouring water into this room. Granted, a lot slower than it was in the previous, but it is filling. And
I'm gonna go ahead and put her down if she wants me to put her down.
okay,
Sure, yeah.
Arteme, make a DC 14 con save.
And then I'm going to start looking through cells.
Okay.
I'm just looking through the bars.
Okay. In 2 of them, there's 6
Wait,
total.
why am I doing a con save?
Because the poison
expired.
The potion she fed you
okay,
is one of the old ones that you found in a tomb, and it's long since gone bad. So
That's all I got.
Although you're conscious again, you are thoroughly vomiting up all that was in there, probably alongside some water because you were underwater for a bit there and had a failed con
Okay,
save.
so maybe I'll stay in the ape's arms for a little bit till I regain.
Fogo, if you don't mind being King Kong for a few minutes longer.
I'm actually excited about this because I might be able to bend some bars.
Well, I mean, they look well kept, I guess. The picture looks like an old dank, dungeon, but this is well maintained.
23 with this bitch. I'm gonna let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so Sarah, you know what? Actually, it's at 1.5 feet, which means you are at half speed for running back and forth along this. But just looking between them, you can make it to the end of the hallway. These are pretty small cells. You can look into each side of them and see 2 of them appear to be occupied, and I'll explain what that means because it isn't necessarily what you might expect in a jail. And then the other 4 are empty. The 2 that are occupied are the 2 that are in the middle most, so the north middle and the south middle, and then the 2 far ones are empty on both sides. Anyways, what you see though in one of them is a human shape that is intact enough, humanoid rather, not human, laying on a slab, almost like a hospital bed, almost like laying flat, and the slab is there's space underneath. The water's filling up this whole chamber as well, but they are up out of the water. It's probably about 3.5 feet or so, like table height, like an operating table. They're not moving. It's just a humanoid figure. There's a sheet that's pulled up to like neck essentially, and there are multiple tubes running down from the ceiling. They go up through a hole in the ceiling, as far as you can tell, that come down and are going under the blanket as well, under the sheet. The south one, you see a humanoid, similar scenario, I guess, but it only looks like a torso with blonde hair and pointed ears. Long blonde hair and pointed ears.
Like it looks like Arteme?
Yeah, it looks like someone you know. Another elf.
No.
Another pointed elf.
Clover.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only torso. There's no, there's the shape, I guess, where legs and feet would be, in the position that this elf is laying in, where the feet would be pointed upwards. There's nothing there. The sheet's just laying flat.
You gonna be okay?
It's just a flesh wound. Good saga. Neither are moving, though. They don't. Whether they're conscious or not, you don't know. But they haven't reacted to all of the excitement, let's say, that you guys have had in this room, or it filling with water, or a Yogg being shoved up against the wall, splashing against the bars and everything. They haven't reacted to any of that. On top of that, I'm going to go ahead and say this too. Nazim had run to the top of the stairs to try to look for a way out, and had shouted down, that Nazim, do you want to clarify that at all? I mean, that's what you said, but do you want to clarify that at any? I said that you yelled down to the group.
Just pretty much bark back down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he had shouted down to the group that there's a way out up there.
I'm gonna let you guys know too. The giant ape is gonna be able to follow instructions, but he's not gonna know how to do stuff on his own. Really, you have to give him a task. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, then I'll just look at him and be like, so we need to get both of these open.
And I'm gonna go ahead and as a giant ape.
Should be recovered by now, so I'll go down.
You're gonna punch the door twice and see what happens.
Okay. But shit, with an intelligence of 7, you probably wouldn't recognize this. The doors do open out, so the rest of you can see this, and he's trying to shove the door in by punching it. So
Oh.
all of you would see that this would not be particularly effective. But with an intelligence of 7, he's not going to recognize that, and is punching, the lock area. I'm guessing, Justin.
Well, just the door itself.
Oh, the whole door. Okay.
Okay. After he
Randomly.
punches it the first time, I'll tell him to grab the bars and pull.
Nazim, at the top of the steps, you hear an obnoxiously loud, echoing rattle of a heavy impact of probably a 700-pound gorilla trying to punch metal bars. There's...
I mean, those are two really good rolls, though.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there is a not small deformation to the bars. The door section in the middle of the door is bent in a little bit. It's not enough to open it or anything, but it is definitely deformed. And in fact, actually, if anything, if there was a functional lock that you needed to use, that might be harder to get it open now.
So,
All right, folks.
if I would go ahead and just try after that if I have enough time, just to pull it off. Pull
Okay.
it back anyway now.
You know what? Where the deformation would be, there'd be a chance at least that it would be, the lock itself would have been disengaged.
Not that great.
19 would, like you grabbing the basically just grabbing the vertical bars and just trying to yank it free. You feel it kind of beginning to rattle, like it's not connected as solidly as it's supposed to, because the lock is not connected anymore where you broke it, but it was not enough to pull it free. You do feel Sarah kind of tapping like on your shin, trying to let you know that breaking the door down is probably not a great idea. I'm going to tell you guys real quick that in this moment of kind of recognition of where you must be, especially after what Garrett had told you, this is somewhere on the Imperial Palace grounds, and you're making a shit ton of noise. Nazim had shouted down to you all that there's a way out, and now you're just beating bars open. So,
Does the figure that we can't see that doesn't look like Clover, does it look like my dad or Avar?
Looks human-sized, and neither Avar nor Theodore are average human male, I guess is what I would describe, and neither of them really fit that appearance, no.
Okay, then I would have at least directed him towards the... Oh, God.
I assumed he was punching...
getting Clover out.
I was assuming that Pogo was punching the door for the one that looks like Clover. Was that...
Oh, you guys tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, I probably
just
would
punching
have...
a random door?
I probably would have pointed him there first, but I did say both.
Okay.
Well, I only did it for one, but that's
Yeah.
where I was one. But if you're telling me not to now, you're going to confuse the gorilla.
It's probably not a great idea when this is likely to be a police situation pretty quickly. Palace guard.
Yeah.
So real quick, we'll go through everybody here. What's Nazim doing, Sako? Top of the steps, you hear bars rattling from down below, and the gorilla getting frustrated. What you doing?
Right, so I'm assuming that they're just ransacking downstairs and clanking around. I'm upstairs, and I can also see a hallway. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you came up the stairs, and you're at the steps come up to the end of a hallway, and looking left down the hallway, there are 3 more kind of stairwells that lead down exactly like the one that you just came up from. So there's probably, you would gather, there's probably more cells going that direction. At the other end of the hallway, it just turns right, and you can't see anything further than that. It's not illuminated at all either, so you're seeing this in the dark.
Gotcha. Since I'm still floating and not making any footstep noises, I will stealthily move as far as I can forward to look to the right to see what's down that right area, because it may be like a guard station, it may be storage, could be anything. So I'm just gonna quietly, stealthily poke my head around and be as quiet as possible.
Give me a stealth check with advantage.
He's like looking around the corner, and he's here.
You cut out there. Monkey sounds. All right. You peering around the corner, you see two more hallways actually on the left that look. You don't know for sure, but they look like there's probably more of these same. They don't look any different, I guess, than the kind of hallway that you're coming out from.
Wow.
So there's probably more of those, and then on the other side of that turns right again, so like a big U shape almost.
Okay, so we're in some type of a large jail, dungeon, cell block, split up thing then.
That's kind of the impression you get. You don't necessarily know, but there's at least 6 total hallways that you've seen that kind of the one that you came out of, and then 5 others that look similar enough. You gather that's probably the case. Uh, pardon me, with with a certain number of cells in each, you don't know, but the one you came out of had 6. Anyways, the other, where it turns around the corner though, there is some light coming from over that side, just a flickering of a torch. Give me a perception check with disadvantage because there is an angry monkey beating cell bars down below that is making a lot of noise. Oh, all right. There's surprise and anxiety, like not whispers but quiet voices coming from down that hallway. Something's been
Gotcha.
alerted. People have been alerted.
Okay, if I have enough movement, then I will quietly move right back and make my way as fast as possible back to the group
Okay.
to hush them.
Okay. It took you 30 to get there, but if you're using your action to dash, you can go
Dash,
30 to
yeah.
get back. That's fine. Okay.
Just I'm going to go back, tell everyone to just keep it down, shut up. There's people up there, and then I will tell them the lay of the land from kind of
Okay.
what I can see. The cells to the left, the bend to the right, and the torch and whispers of anxious voices.
Okay. All right.
Garrett
Norok,
kind of scratching his head, a little bit confused.
barely room enough to get your hand above your head in this 8-foot ceiling. All right. So then for that, Norok, you are. Artemis is still vomiting, but you are like fully, aware and able to stand up and do whatever you're going to do here. The portal is still pouring water into this chamber here. What are you doing?
All right, I'm going to, well, hopefully not too loud, but remind everybody that we probably still have more of those shadow things coming towards us, so we need to make moves. I'm going to start going towards Nazim because he went up the stairs, right?
Nazim just came back down the stairs to tell everybody that that there's voices that sound like they're coming this way.
Just
Okay,
came
I'm
back to
going to
shush you all.
start heading that way. And is there any other jail cells that I can look through while I'm walking that way? See if I
There's
notice any Avar or Theodore-shaped humanoids.
Okay, so what Nora or Nazim rather had described are 5 other hallways that look like this one. So there's at
Okay.
least potentially at least 5 other hallways that could have cells like this. But it sounds like, from what Nazim had described, it sounds like there are voices that are possibly coming this way and alerted to your presence as well. So if you're going up the stairs by yourself, that's what you're expecting to do. Or that's what you're expecting to potentially run into is what I'm saying.
All right, then I'll start heading that way, and then maybe just duck over to the side of the last hallway for my movement, if you know what I mean. So I'm not standing in that main one by where the stairs were. So duck off to one of the hallways to the left or the right.
Okay, so each of them is a stairs that go downward into a hallway where the jail cells are, and you're in the last one. There's 5 more. You can make it if you're going to go down to where the cells are and not be in the main hallway. You could make it to the next one over, really, unless you're going to dash.
For now, I'm just going to kind of walk and check those first ones because I also don't want to get too far away.
Okay. So you then getting over to the kind of hallway that is essentially next to the jail cells of the where the rest of the group still is. You go upstairs, go over, and then go downstairs into this next cell area. And stepping down into there, you can peek into them, and you see one more that has a like halfling size person, but you can see it's a male. You can see enough of the face to see that it's not Theodore, and the other cells are empty. And it's another, laying flat bed with tubes coming down into it and the sheet pulled up.
Then I'm just going to wait kind of on those stairs to where I can't really be seen from the main hall a little bit. Kind of
Okay.
just wait it out.
Give me a stealth check.
Guys, I'm just real quick to interrupt, but like, dude, how crazy is it that we are in like the fucking royal palace area?
I know this could be real bad.
Well,
You
this is
guys knew
also
where you were
Not
going.
the implications are so this whole fucking bullshit. Like either Garrett was horribly mistaken, or it was set up to where they were like, oh, we'll just put him here, or it's like that asshole that works with the king is, or the king, for all we fucking know, is the one behind all this shit. Which is also pisses me off that the king, they were like, oh, so they don't want to just find out that, we're
The
working for the
emperor,
king,
the
basically,
emperor
or
is
something.
also the one
The emperor.
who had well.
We're
Okay,
working,
the emperor
yeah,
and or their vizier were the ones that outlawed the Crowblinders in the first place because the
yeah.
Crowblinders chose not to
But
leave
they're
the.
also the ones that like kidnapped like your dad and Avar, and they're the ones that are trying to pay us for the job, and then they're being real buttholes about it.
Pogo is having this
Well,
internal
Boba
thought as a giant
never had
ape.
time to think about it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
He's still working.
Pogo is having this internal monologue as a giant
Yeah,
ape about all these situations. All right. Okay. All
I
right.
have to burn down the whole system.
Pogo, or Norok rather, is stealthily hiding down the end of the hallway. Give me a perception check on Norok as well. Now that you're not next to right next to the ape.
Have I recovered enough to be able to cast Healing Spirit?
Not this. You will be able to soon. You're still like you lose your whole turn to vomiting. This is basically
I
that
see.
next turn. Yeah. Norok, you are also hearing like hushed. I'm going to tell you that with that check too, there's fear in the voices as well. They clearly heard something and are on the way to investigate. Is the impression you get? But
Okay.
there's anxiety and fear. Like they're not sure what to expect. Although it probably wouldn't be good in the impression that you get from their voices. You can't make out words just yet. They're too far. You're not hearing footsteps. Just the kind of trying to talk quietly voices coming from around a corner at the very least. All right, Arteme, this would be yours, but I'm going to say you still you can communicate if you want to talk, but yeah, as far as actions, you have to spend it vomiting. So,
Oh.
anything else you want to do? Like, do you want to communicate at all for your turn, real quick?
I do have a bonus action, yes?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna heal myself with one of the light orbs.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a relatively minimally complex action to do. That's fine. Go ahead and roll that. All right, Sarah. Yeah, then we'll be back to Pogo.
Sarah is going to dash and go to the left because that's where they said more cells were. She's going to try and be as quiet as possible, but she's honestly just focused on finding them and getting the fuck out. So
Okay, so
she'll see Norok down there and go to the next one.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you're just going to the next one then, because Norok is
Yep.
near enough to the top of the stairs, trying to keep out of sight. All right, so you rush over to the next one over, head down the stairs, and let's see. That's fine. I'm gonna hand wave a little bit that you can make it far enough to make it down there. In this block, there are those table things that the horizontal tables that they've been laying on the other bodies that you saw. Well, I said bodies. That's not fair. You don't know if they're conscious or not. But anyways, the row there that don't have those tables in them, and there's no tubes coming down from the ceiling. And in the backmost one, on one side, you see a small, huddled, clearly very dirty figure, like under a blanket that is kind of like stuck in the corner. And it looks like it's probably shivering. Definitely could be of a small human child shape, let's say. And then the other side on the far back is an even smaller block, an even smaller shape, maybe 3 feet in height, with some like wispy white hair stuck up over a blanket, both shivering.
Right, I will get over the walkie-talkie and tell them which hallway I went down and be like, I think I found him, and I'm just gonna run up and be like, guys, you need to be quiet. We're gonna get you out of here. We gotta go.
Okay. There's both faces look up as you start to speak. They didn't notice you coming in with your, especially with Shadow on. What was the extra? That doesn't matter, Fox. I'd say that at this point you'd be able to put up your healing spirit anyways to start.
No, because any healing is upcast, so I figured that the healing orb would also be upcast.
That's when you cast a spell, not when you use an item that does healing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have the
Gotcha.
extra one on there. But yeah, as far as the Wood Sage's Chorus, that's on spells that you cast that are using Dental. but items don't have that. Anyway, you looking through the bars, you see the kind of wispy-haired face lift up, and sure enough, it is Theodore. But he's shaking his head and holding his hands up, and clearly terrified. No, just leave us alone. We didn't do anything. We don't want any trouble. Just leave us alone.
Be like, Dad, shut up! You gotta be
You
quiet.
hear something clang against the bars behind you, and you turn around and see, looking over there, and you see Avar has thrown something. Avar has stood up and he's standing there, and he like angrily is shouting and pointing at you to leave them or leave him alone.
Oh, God.
And he threw like a plate or something that hit the bars and clattered on the floor, loudly. And we'll come back to you in a second there. Let's go back over to Pogo.
Pogo, seeing Arteme being kind of sick, he's gonna kind of walk over, walk over to her and sit down and kind of do like a little gentle pat on her back, and then eat some of her throw up.
Oh, come on.
God.
Please don't.
But like,
God damn it,
kind of like
Justin.
nudging her lovingly, like just,
Try to reassure her while with the other hand lifting up vomit.
Do you get healed from that?
more like
You
a
pull out-
finger dip, more like a
Get
finger
like pull out bread and dab into the
Yeah.
vomit.
I mean, no one's telling me to do much. I can't do a whole lot, so I'm hanging out until we have another plan.
All right. Well, Nazim is in there with you too, so it's you. Nazim came back, so it's Nazim, Arteme, and Pogo in that chamber, and Sarah and Norak are each in separate ones. Then in that case, I guess we'll go back to Norak. We'll have to end here before too long, guys. So I don't want to go too far just for starting the next bit. But whatever you guys want to handle within here in these cells and everything, we certainly can. I just don't want to start a fight or anything like that. So if you guys want to, you go right ahead. But we'll have to theater of the mind if you guys are going to start a fight with these Imperial guards. So Norak in the middle of the three on this side of the hallway. What are you doing?
Waiting until those people possibly pass by, or just
Sarah's
sounds
closer to
coming
them.
this way,
Sarah,
right?
yeah, they are coming this way. Sarah's in the next hallway over, closer to them. And you just heard Avar and Theodore shouting in the hall, like you heard their voices,
Yeah.
you recognize their voices in the next hallway over, the one that's closer to the guards.
And I said over the walkie-talkie for everybody where I had run to where they were.
Okay. I'm going to peek my head around the corner. Do I see any guards too
You don't.
close that might see me if I try to dash across?
You don't. Make a perception check with advantage. Okay. The light flickering is definitely closer. They're definitely coming down the hall. What I'm describing here, imagine a U shape, and you guys are on one side of the U, and then there's a hallway connecting, and then the other side of the U is where the guards are walking down towards this side. So they're on the parallel side of the U. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're not around the corner from you yet. They're around two corners from you, but they are clearly coming this way and probably carrying a light source like a torch. And you can see the light getting slightly brighter, but you definitely have enough time to make it to the next hallway and down.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that as quietly as I possibly can, which hopefully is.
With your stealth check, you did fine. Yeah, I won't have you roll another one. Yeah, your stealth check was okay. So you okay. Then you quietly sneak over there as quiet as you can and rush down the stairs. You see Sarah rather, at the end of the hall, still in shadow form, kind of hands onto the bars, basically on one. Go ahead.
If Sarah would have realized she's in her shadow form, she would have dropped that shit as soon as they said, "We don't know who you are."
Okay, then you drop the shadow. So Norak running down the stairs, you see Sarah kind of the shadows begin to dissipate and slip into the wall next to her, and the shouting continues. This is Avar's voice, and he's clearly angry, and he's like beating against the bars behind her. She's on. If you're looking at the picture here, imagine that she's on the far wall, like right next to the wall on the far side, on the right. Like looking through the cells and trying to talk to somebody. You assume is Theodore on that side, her father, and Avar is beating on the cells inside the cell on the other side, beating on the bars, shouting at her to leave him alone. What are you doing?
I'm just going to try to get him to quiet down, I guess. Let him know that we're here. Have they recognized that it's Sarah yet?
She reverted, and he's still shouting and beating on the bars.
Okay, then I'm going to
Telling her to leave him alone.
try to kind of quietly be like, "Hey, guys, it's us. Avar, Theodore, it's us."
You get into view, and he starts to shrink away, like back towards the back wall, and points at you, and same thing. He's shouting, just leave us alone. We didn't do anything. They don't. There's recognition, I guess. Give me a perception check, Ben. It's a bit on the low side to recognize specifically what's going on here. They clearly recognize who you guys are. Shit, I can't say much without giving things away. They don't not
Is it
recognize
almost?
you.
It's
that?
almost like people were using what we looked like to torture the hell out of them.
We're not giving stuff away.
God damn it! I'm trying not to. Yeah. So there. I would say that you know what, Becky, give me both Becky and Ben. Give me intelligence checks with advantage.
You said check, right?
Yeah. Norok, you don't. That doesn't quite dawn on you, but Sarah definitely does. That's exactly what it seems like. It seems like they recognize who you're supposed to be. They just don't trust that you are who you say you are.
Cool.
So we'll come back to you guys here in a second. Arteme, you actually have a full turn now, so if you want to do something with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit.
Okay, where are you putting it? It's a relatively narrow hallway. You can get yourself, Nazim, and Pogo easily. You couldn't quite get it through basically you could get it over to Clover, but it wouldn't be enough to get all three of you guys if you did that.
Wait, is Clover still alive or not?
You don't know. You guys haven't gotten through the bars to be able to tell.
Okay.
You just know that that's a torso shape in there that you know what, with your eyes, I'm going to tell you that you do recognize that is her. It's not just any random elf. But it is a torso. The thing is, it's unconscious. You can't tell whether she's alive or not. Same with the other one on the other side.
Okay. So, wait. So I could get her myself and somebody else.
No, you can either get her or you can get you guys. You can get you, Nazim, and Pogo.
Okay. So
She's too far away from the bars for you to be able to get everybody.
Okay, so I'll put the Healing Spirit near us.
Okay.
I'm going to send my last orb to her.
Okay. I'll tell you that with your experience with Denel, that if it were inanimate flesh, the healing would not function. It would pass through it and would not be absorbed. The orb does hit this torso, and it is absorbed into it, which tells you that it is alive.
Okay. So we definitely need to get her out. So I'm going to... did the ape open the door yet?
No, I was told not to by a gentle leg pat.
Right.
The door is all bent and fucked up now, though.
Yeah, it's smashed up real good. It's still there, but it's smashed up real good.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I guess
I don't know if I'll have unless I get a really good strength roll. Like I got good strength 23, but the giant ape's hitting and punching ability is much stronger as like a general thing, but it's gonna make a fuck ton of noise.
Nazim, what are you doing?
All right, so I'm down in the cell with a little bit of water in it still. Everyone is up the stairs, correct, and down to other cells.
Are you just doing something else? How many times do I have to reiterate exactly what's happening for everybody else? Come on. if you can't pay attention here, then you don't need to be playing, Sako. If you got something else you got to do, that's fine. We can skip. But this is literally like the fourth or fifth time just tonight alone. Anyways, so again, to reiterate what's occurring here, you are with Pogo still in ape form and Arteme in the far cell. Norok and Sarah are in a different cell. You can ignore them for now. But the torso of Clover is on the other side of the bars, and you've just found out that she is still alive. It is just a torso, but she is still alive.
Right.
Arteme has just mentioned, that you guys need to try to get her out. So what are you guys doing?
Okay. So we still have the people on the upstairs trying to come around. They're they're parallel, walking parallel.
Yeah, they're on the other side of the. Well, you wouldn't know that now that you're downstairs, but you do. I mean, you haven't heard them. They're not obviously within, audio range just yet.
Okay. Well, the stairs that I went up to, there were cells on the left-hand side as I got to the top of the stairs. I would like to go back to those cells because I know that they're coming around the corner. They still got some travel to do. So I'll start poking around a little bit in the cell over there, the 6 cells over there.
So there are 5 different hallways of 6 cells. You're in the furthest one right now. Pogo and Norok are in the middle one, and then there are 3 more after that. Pogo and Norok are in the middle one with Avar and Theodore, who you were also here to try to pick up. And
I'm not in
they're
that
down there
one.
with them.
I'm with Arteme.
Sorry, I keep saying Pogo.
Yeah, Sarah.
Norok and Sarah, sorry, are in
Norok.
the middle one. Yeah, Norok and Sarah are in the middle one with Avar and Theodore, who are shouting, making a lot of noise because they apparently don't recognize Norok and Sarah.
He's freaking out, and he was trying to calm him down a little bit.
He was, yeah.
Shoot, and we can't intimidate the guy on the other cell either to quiet down.
The other guy is Avar.
Yeah, Avar. He's freaking out, right? The
Yeah.
guy on the left. If I were to also assist trying to calm him down right now, would that help the situation? Because, I mean, clearly he's making too much damn noise. He doesn't recognize what's going on.
You wouldn't really have any way to know if that would be helpful or not. I mean, it might be. You just wouldn't have any way of knowing without trying, I guess.
Essentially, we need to shut everyone up because if we got people walking around here, eventually they're going to make the rounds over here. We would rather them take their time to get to us to buy us some time.
I'll tell you that when you come down the stairs to the hallway where Norok and Sarah are, Norok is already, like, it's clear by his demeanor that they're coming. Like they've already been aware.
Gotcha.
Nazim had just left Fox, so he wouldn't be there for the full minute. But Norok, you will get it.
Sweet, thank you.
Gotcha. All right, then it's just self-preservation mode at that point inside this area.
Hang on, sorry. It wouldn't have been Norok, it would have been Pogo. So Fox just did the same thing. So no heal to Norok, G. Yeah, exactly. That 68 is to Pogo. It would have been also to Nazim, but Nazim left.
Just mixing up.
You're fine. I did it like 4 times tonight, so sorry to Pogo and Norok for switching those up. Yeah, sorry. So Nazim, rather, when you come down the stairs there, though, it's Norok is already like alerted and is clearly like, watching that hallway, expecting them to come down those stairs. They have not yet, but they are coming, is the impression that Norok is giving.
All right, quickly look around the area for boxes, barrels, things of that nature, anything that can be used to hide and cause a surprise attack in the event that they do come down, because eventually they have to make these rounds. So it's an inevitability. At this point, we just need to stage an ambush.
The hallways are like clear. This isn't, so the picture is a kind of a dilapidated, spiders, all that stuff. That's not, an accurate representation. It is like well kept and there's no clutter or anything to hide behind.
All right, then I'm just gonna have to stick with Norok right now, and if they come, they come. We're just gonna take them at this point.
All right.
So I guess I'll ready an action for when they eventually come around the corner. I'm assuming we have more than one turn until they get to us, but just as precaution.
It sounds like they're far enough away that it might take, another 30 seconds maybe for them to get to you guys, just by guessing, because you did hear them previously, just by guessing, how far away the footsteps sound. So if you're ready, I guess readying what kind of action? What are you readying?
Essentially, when they come around the corner, I'm going to just prepare to blast them if they come in this next turn. If they don't,
specifically though, Eldritch Blast or what?
Eldritch Blast, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that was Arteme for healing. Nazim is gone. Norok's gone. Back to Pogo. It's just you and Arteme in there with Clover on the other side now.
I'm going to kind of look at Arteme and woo, like look confused and scratch my head and like kind of elbow the thing and look for what her response is for me to do. What do you want?
Okay, I'm gonna say quietly, putting my hand to my mouth and try and open the door as quietly as possible.
Okay,
so 8 foot 8.
I'm going to first turn around and grab some of the throw up and eat it like that. Like that's what you mean? Putting your hand to your mouth, and then I'm gonna.
Well, I'm putting a finger finger to my mouth
I don't
as like a
speak.
shushing sound.
I can't understand English. I'm gonna tell you. So, were you pulling on the bars to kind of show me?
Yeah, like
Oh, I got it. So
I
I
was
eat a
pulling
little
on the
more
bars
vomit.
to like show that like quietly do this.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull on the bars. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna pull on the bars. It's
Sure.
even as a human, I don't even know if I'd be able to figure out how to pull on bars quietly. If I'm being brutally honest.
Without a key, yeah. I mean, even Arteme would be able to see. There's probably no quiet way to break a jail bar, jail door down, but
Not great.
not great. You grabbing the bar to yank it free, in a quiet manner as best you can. It definitely rattles bars. I would say that it doesn't sound all that much louder than the noise that Avar's making on the other side. So if anything, you have a little bit of like audio camouflage, I guess you might be a way to describe it.
Which
In
is
that
why I
there's
figured it'd be safe to try.
yeah, I think there's enough noise from Avar shouting and Theodore like moaning in fear from the other the next cell group over that are closer to the guards. So thankfully, a little bit of the noise that you're making would be kind of masked under that, but it does not come free. Make a perception check with the ape. Arteme, you can do it as actually you can make one as well, and I think you have.
I've actually got
don't-
bonus, but I think it's only for smell. Give me a second.
Hey, Fox got a natural 20.
Yay!
As he's lifting the gate up, like it's basically a gate that is held on the left side with a through metal rod going surface to floor, and the hinge basically is just one long bar. And when he lifts it up, you can see that the lock is no longer connected. Where he punched it, the lock is disengaged completely. It's just a matter now of getting it kind of lifted up and then over before like lifted up the above the. There's a little bar basically that sticks up out of the floor, and you have to get it up off of that, and then once it's off of that, you can spin the door open normally. So you see
Okay.
how to do it now, which means that the DC
Yeah.
will change.
Okay, so I'll make a lifting motion. I'll gently poke the ape and make a lifting motion.
Okay. With your 18 Pogo, you see that as well after she points it to you that there's a piston sticking up out of the floor essentially, and the piston isn't going to move because you guys can't turn the lock and the key in the lock. But you can see that if you lift the door up hard enough, that you can get it up off of that, and then you can get the door open.
All right, one more time.
Yeah, give it a shot. That'll do. All right, you lift the bar up, and it's almost like tilting it out. Like the top of the door is disengaged enough that you just pull it up and out of the doorway. It is now
I'm
no
gonna
longer
also
connected.
hold on
It is
to
now okay. I was going to say you're holding it like a giant barred door basically that is no longer connected at all. Battering ram or shield or whatever else you want to use it for.
That's my new Pogo giant ape weapon.
So you are carrying a giant barred door now in your hands, but the door is now open. Arteme, what are you doing?
Go in and check on Clover.
Okay. You rush in. She is not conscious. Her eyes are closed. And the tubes, you kind of pull the sheet back, and you can see that the tubes are going down into like basically her chest, right below her neck, collarbone area, are going like into the skin. They've been grafted in. It's not a port that you can just pull free like an IV or anything. And you can't. The tubes are not translucent, opaque. The tubes are opaque. You can't see what it is, but clearly something is coming out of. There's three of them. But you pull the sheet down, and you can see that she is indeed just a torso, and it is cauterized. It's like a perfectly clean, smooth cut, essentially at the waist. And like it's not, it doesn't even look like it was wounded. It almost looks like it was always that way. But she's
That
otherwise
doesn't
unconscious.
sound too good. Okay, well, I'm not really sure what I could do for her. I'm gonna try and contact Ozzy and let him know the situation.
Okay. It's going to take you a while to be able to explain all of that because that is a relatively that's not an easy 10-word sentence to explain specifically the situation that you're in with her here. Also, Pepperjack probably doesn't have his at the moment. So Ozzy, remember, she doesn't work for Ozzy. She works for Pepperjack specifically. But
Yeah, but we don't have a direct line to Pepper.
exactly, yeah. So Ozzy is fine. He just wouldn't be able to give any specific orders in regards to what to do there. But anyways, so it's going to take you a minute to explain all that situation with Pogo kind of standing behind you with a giant giant door. All right, back to Norok and Sarah, and then we'll we'll call it here and then pick up. So what are you guys doing on the other side?
I'm going to look into the cell at Avar and say, again, not too loud, but loud enough to where he can hear me over his frantic yelling, and tell him, "Hey, Avar, Nazim wants to tell you the story finally about when the bird clawed his face up, but you gotta be quiet. He wants to tell you what that story. I know you've been
Ooh.
waiting for that."
All right, interesting. So I don't know if that was your intent, but to try to broach it by here's something that only the real Norok would know is essentially what you just did. If that's what you were going for, I guess either way, because it's still the result to him would be the same. But that is essentially what you just said. I don't know if that was what you were aiming for or not. But in that case, give me a persuasion check with advantage, and the DC is going to be forgiving. I guess it would be a little easy. Is that what you were trying to do, G?
Yeah, because I know Norok wouldn't have known that they thought what Sarah knew, that unless she said it out loud. But I would have noticed that he still wasn't calming down after he saw me and Sarah. So again, trying to get a child to calm down, it's like, "Oh, here's your favorite toy," or whatever, that kind of thing. Norok would have
Okay.
tried to think like that.
Sure.
Still trying to calm him down. Yes.
Sure. All right. Go ahead and give me that persuasion check and see.
Angle some keys with my melted face.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. There's a brief pause and like a shock, like a surprise, and he kind of squints at you and squints over at Nazim. Are you for real this time?
Yeah, he wants to tell you the story, but we got to get out of here first.
No,
buddy.
no.
But,
Is it really you? Are you guys really you?
it's me, and it's Serafina, and it's Nazim, and Artemis here too. Yeah.
He's no longer shouting, and he rushes over to the bars and kind of grabs onto them, and he's trying to shove his head like between them. His head's too big to be able to fit, but he's trying to look up the hallway. Are they coming? We got to get out of here.
Yeah, they're coming now, buddy, but we got to be quiet. Okay, we got to get out of here, but we got to be quiet though, because they're gonna hear us.
And he's quiet, and he kind of stands back and is looking at the bar, just ready, to fight, basically. All right, let's go ahead and call it there, guys. Let's look at schedule real quick. Is everybody good for the 22nd next Saturday?